create these, I don't know if they're going to even show up. That's why I started doing this, just so I could catch, not lose my thoughts, but that's the nature of life. Every time now, even my newer little USB thing, when I put it in my computer, it's like, there's a problem with this disk, please fix errors, blah, blah, whatever. No matter how many times I format it, it does that. So I'm just, take the risk. Take the risk. The other disk is a lot newer, and it's doing the same damn thing. Yesterday on Inside Edition, smart this time, I have a spoon to stir the salt. Yesterday on Inside Edition, this man entered his first eating contest, which is a innately dangerous, innately a deadly something incident waiting to happen. Okay, you're shoveling food into your mouth as fast as possible. Of course you can fucking choke. I'm surprised there aren't more deaths in these eating contests. He was doing a lobster roll eating contest. He'd never done it before. And he started choking. And some of his life was saved, actually. The Inside Edition was like, well, I guess who saved it? The governor of that state, or whatever state it was. I don't forget, but I don't know where it was. It doesn't matter. The whole point is, he was choking. Because from shoveling food into his mouth, again, I would think that those eating contests, more people would choke. Maybe we just don't hear about it, because that's just, his life was saved, and the people around him didn't even realize he was choking to death, just as an aside, not surprisingly. The governor of that state saved his life, this man, and then he continued with the eating contest after choking and could have lost his life. The nature of life. I wouldn't. If I was in something like that, I choke and I'm choking it, I would say, yeah, maybe this isn't for me. He'd never entered one before. He didn't say, maybe this isn't for me. He continued to do it despite having that near-death experience of choking. Now, of course, he didn't win. He had planned to eat 20 of the lobster rolls and he ate 7. But I'm only pointing that out because life is innately dangerous. Period. It is. Even if you're afraid of going out in the world, you can choke in your own home. You can slip in the shower. You can fall in your own home. Hit your head, and that's it. So, I put my life in danger yesterday, but I used to regularly, several years ago, put my life in danger indisputably, by walking around tipsy and having my music full blast in my ears, even at night, not late at night. And remember, it starts getting dark earlier and earlier. I never did it late at night, but I still did it. It was still dangerous. And one night I walked into a branch. Luckily, I was wearing my glasses. I don't wear contacts anymore. I don't feel like it. I would have them. I mean, if I ever have money again, I would have them like as a special occasion or something. I lost 3 fucking weeks with that minor thing with the dishwasher. And the dishwasher was too new for me to realize. Because the first time when it wouldn't turn on, my common sense said to me, that wouldn't happen. That's not how your dishwasher would break. It wouldn't just not turn on. That's electrical, and they did install a plug, so maybe it has to do with that. And I just went under there, 'cause I can do that. Not everybody could. My mother couldn't. Got down on my knees, went under there and tapped the thing. And it turned on and everything was fine for over a week. But then when my dishwasher didn't drain, it didn't dawn on me, wait a minute, when you wash those dishes, now it dawns on me, when you wash those dishes, that light that says clean stays on, that never shuts off. It does not shut off until you open up the thing. But I didn't pay attention to any of that. I freaked out that my dishwasher didn't drain, thought there was something wrong with the labor or with the dishwasher, defective, and it turned out it was related to the same stupid plug thing. The guy who had done it didn't uncoil the plug, and it was coming out by itself. And that's all fine and good, but by the time I called them, because first I had to troubleshoot and find my directions about the glass trap, why this isn't draining, blah, blah, blah. So that took me finding the damn directions and then calling them, and then when I called them at the end of the week, and they get 2 business days to respond, which meant I called them on Friday. I'd lost that week. I called on a Friday, and they didn't even have to respond. They get 2 business days so that they didn't have to respond until Tuesday. Because I said, it's not going to be Monday, it's going to be Tuesday. She's like, yeah, they get 2 business days. And then it was over 2 weeks. I lost 3 fucking weeks. 3 weeks. That was 3 weeks that I was in a turmoil, and and I'm not thinking about selling my house or whatever until I get this place at least halfway decent looking. And it's not gonna be halfway decent looking when I have the broken dishwasher and the dishes all piled up on the counter and whatnot. It's all about aesthetics, you know. So I lost 3 weeks. 3 weeks is a long time. It's because now we're in September. But also, Joe's lack of enthusiasm doesn't exactly compel me, give me the incentive, emotional incentive. It's all about my state of mind, okay? I put myself in his incentive for me to fight, because he'll be like, well, you should have put your house on the market on June 1st. Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda, Joe, I indisputably went through hell for so many months of whatever, and then I'm trying to get acclimated to my mother being home. I wanted to enjoy the summer. It's still an added pressure and added stress to put my home on the market. Plus, what if just by chance it sold quickly or something? I don't know. I didn't do it. But I started doing it at the beginning of August. Got the ball rolling. Every second something can happen to me. Yesterday, my whole day, things that I needed to do. That's not fair, that appeal thing for that they give you, they say it's supposed to be received within 10 business days. That's not even fair. It should be postmarked. It shouldn't include weekends. They do that because they don't want anyone to appeal. They don't have to accept what I did yesterday. Yesterday was the deadline date, but it's postmarked, not received. I wrote on it, I hope you accept this, but you don't, oh well. I didn't say, but you don't, oh well. I just said, please accept this. I honestly thought it was postmarked by that date because I couldn't imagine it's received, because again, somebody can receive something, it can take days sometimes to get in the mail. That's not fair. Received. But they don't, it's still self a show anyway. My initial one was the big one, and it was 10 whole pages. And the fact is, it caused trouble for that hospital, and that's what I want. Caused trouble for the mental hospital. Caused trouble for the doctor treating me like shit. They found wrongdoing in them adding gabapentin without informed consent. That's all I asked. At that time, I didn't know I had say. I never knew that for years and years and years. As a patient's invoked healthcare proxy, you do have say, but you can't tell me it's informed consent just because I proved you to treat her with a certain antipsychotic. If that was, but I also looked in the social worker's eyes and said, and the doctor didn't want to talk to me. She knew me from before, and she didn't want to talk to me. And then the social worker is my go-between. I trust you, and you give me your word. Don't worry, it won't happen again. And then we're on the phone call from hell, and I'm pleading to you, so and so, but you. She just told you why she did it. She has too many patients and didn't have time to call you. Parroting it. I don't have time to run my medical decisions about your mother by you. How is that even remotely constitute informed consent? And then I get a thing because I assigned a thing approving her to treat that, but I said to the social worker directly, and I would have said to the doctor, the psychiatrist directly, don't change anything without letting me know. It's common courtesy. Keep me in the loop. Don't do what you did last time around when you did this. I practiced at 5 to 10. This was 10 to 20 to 30 because the PRNs, it was just a joke. And then so they found wrongdoing. They couldn't not find wrongdoing in adding on gabapentin without my express just keeping me in the loop. At that time, I didn't know I had any say. I said to the social worker, I know I don't have any say. I found out weeks later when I was fighting to get her out of there because they kept saying they were going to let her out, and then they didn't. They didn't. And it's a vicious circle with them giving her like 30 milligrams as I practice her a day sometimes. I'm making them work. They can accept it, not accept it. That's up to them. If it's a hard, fast rule, it has to be received within 10 days. Then I have a feeling it's not a hard, fast rule. They say that so you don't spend months and they have to keep it open, the case, and wait for it and whatever. I sent it out certified yesterday. I got it done by the skin of my teeth at the library. I had to leave in time to get to the post office afterwards. Got everything done by the skin of my teeth. But I also had to go and check out the whole thing where they said they needed 2 weeks before her appointment for her neurology appointment. I don't need a neurology appointment. Yeah, well, we're covering all bases and we're pretending we're not leaving. We had to get home from her heart doctor appointment. I had to make her a lunch. I don't leave her alone when she's eating, and I don't do that. So I have to watch her, and anything can add time. If she has to go to the bathroom, if this or that. If my bus leaves early than it's supposed to, the driver, not the bus. And I killed myself getting there. And then I'm on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, you could get hit by a car if you're running, walking, if you're me. I mean, it's not like I'm not looking, directions, etc., whatever, looking both through it, but I'm doing it on autopilot. I'm doing it fast. Whereas normally at my leisure, I do it very methodically and carefully and slowly. Then again, I got hit by a car in this neighborhood from behind. And the excuse is you were in my blind spot. I was stopped briefly. I talked to somebody about that, who drives a car, about the blind spot thing, and they're like, yeah, that's kind of an excuse. People have blind spots, but drivers have blind spots, but they have to work around them. They can't use that as an excuse to hit somebody. Well, this woman did use it as an excuse. I was spending a second in the corner of her driveway adjusting my music, but I could have easily been walking. She's like, I thought I saw you go by. So she made an excuse of her blind spot, but I asked a driver. I asked someone who's been driving forever, and that person said, no, that's not an excuse. If you know you have a blind spot, you still have to find a way to check your blind spot. Luckily, if you're pulling out of your driveway, you're not going fast, so I was okay. I was startled. I was scared. The woman drove me to urgent care because I'm like, I feel fine. I'm not staying here either. I was planning on leaving that day. It's beautiful out, and she drives me insane. And I said, you can drive me to an urgent care if you'd like, but you're not calling 911. I'm not taking an ambulance to the hospital. Fact is, anything can happen anytime. What I did yesterday, I don't do 99.9% of the time. I did it because I was desperate. I had two things to do. I needed to check out about that paperwork for the neurology, if they needed that really within 2 weeks, and it wasn't. They'd do that to scare you so you'd get it in. I said, I'll be happy to reschedule, it's fine. And then I had to have questions to ask, because what do I do if I'm the invoked healthcare proxy, but I really have no proof of that? You know, it was within a hospital setting. I don't know if I'm technically still the invoked healthcare proxy legally, but I have no problem having her sign the paperwork. The VNA people who were coming in, they're like, oh yeah, it's still invoked. It's still invoked. It's all very complicated. And all of this is happening. The VNA people were here all the time. I was getting used to all this with my mom, and she's screaming about a commode, screaming about a wheelchair, and driving me crazy, continuously calling me for every little thing. She's starting to learn not to do that, but it took a while for me. Like, you know, your boy who cried wolf. When you really need something, I'm not going to respond, but I have to respond. And all that was going on while Joe was like, you should put your house in the market, you know, a week after your mom comes home. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Now I noticed yesterday while helping her in the bathroom, I never noticed it here because why would I don't wheel her around. She does her own thing with the damn wheelchair. I'm grateful she's not pissing through all her bedding every night like happened for an entire week. And she had a big dentist appointment. We had to do x-rays and all this crap. I have a dentist appointment coming up. Her liners and diapers are an extra expense. You know, my heart just wasn't in it. My heart wasn't in to fight to put this place on the market that soon. Again, I started getting the ball rolling right in the beginning of August. I gave myself June and July to enjoy the summer. And then I lose 3 weeks with the broken dishwasher that I was so excited to finally have. And when it broke, I had already done 16 loads. I'd done 16 loads, and it broke in less than 3 weeks. And that's it. It's hard for me to keep motivated to do anything. And yesterday, if I had missed that bus that I caught by the skin of my teeth, everything would have been ruined. Everything, like all my plans. I planned to get to this place and then get home and then get to the library and have a certain amount of time to write and type up that thing, and everything was by the skin of my teeth. But it's all because I had to make her lunch, but I had to stay and watch her. If I hadn't had to stay and watch her eat, everything would have been fine. If I hadn't had to stay and watch her eat, everything would be fine. Am I obligated to stay and watch her eat? No. I'm not. That's on me. I can't control how fast she eats or if she has to go to the bathroom in between or whatever. And yesterday was a freak thing. I won't do it again. Again, I wasn't running in traffic or anything. It's just that I was on autopilot when I knew I was going to miss the bus. I knew it could leave early, and I just made it by the skin of my teeth. And it did leave early. I caught it. I made it by the skin of my teeth. I don't want a repeat of that. I killed myself running. I was out of breath. But more importantly, one wrong move. Now I'm always watching. Joe taught me about watching out. You have to pretend you're in the country, and they have to watch out for cow piles. So he taught me that they walk, but they always look down, like every 5 feet or something. So I'm very cognizant of not tripping over anything too, which we all know I've done before. Trip over my own fucking feet. Someone years ago let me go across the street, and I didn't even want to go. When I'm not in a hurry, I just go. But they let me go, and then I feel like they want to go, and I have to go fast, and I slammed my bottom of my leg. Which anybody who's watched me for a long time knows that. Slammed the bottom of my leg into the curb. And I ended up, it wasn't good. I wasn't seriously hurt. I still ended up later put an indentation into my leg. I can't remember if it got infected. After that happened, I was on the beginning of my walk, and I still went for the walk. I think I went to urgent care at some point. I think something got infected or something. It all blends in. Fact is, as I've been saying, it's all getting old. I do what I have to survive, including peeing. When my mom heard, like, she was in the bathroom for hours that time, and I'm like, I had to go to the bathroom. I peed in my jar. What jar? The one we used to put our keys in. And she's like, can I have a jar to pee in? Of course you can have a jar to pee in. That's insanity, but she's, you can't hold a jar and pee in the ground. You can't even use the bedpan on the bed. That's why we had accidents. We think you're getting it in the bedpan, and I want this much, and you know that's not going through all those layers. It isn't. It's because you're peeing directly on the bed, and you deny it, but you deny everything anyway. The wheelchair that she got is not locking properly, and I realized that in the bathroom, public bathroom, medical office, when I was helping her. I'm like, this is putting you in danger, Mom. Why is this moving? It's locked. She goes to sit down on it. That's not good. That's not good. So we have to get another one. And also, I need help. Then I can't lift it up and down the steps. It's too heavy for me. Not like a light walker, But it does help her. She can go in I don't have to move our chair, breaking potentially our dining room chair. And she fell off the dining room chair one time, not that long ago. I heard a thud. I heard her dread, just like when she fell off her piano chair, but that was a moving chair, and she was reaching for her walker. That was just, it wasn't dizziness, it wasn't whatever. It's her lack of common sense, her putting, not thinking. Okay, so I told the heart doctor yesterday, it's not her dizziness or whatever, it's lack of, she's doing things, lack of common sense. Just like drinking sips of water out of this plastic thing that she uses in our bathroom, that she used in the nursing home. She uses it to spit in her toothpaste, but it sits there, and anything in a bathroom gets all the poo-poo smells. And it's just a stupid cheap plastic thing. It's going to absorb that. And I look at it, then I'm like, you're drinking out of that? Yeah, when I'm thirsty, you shouldn't drink out of that. I will leave. Don't drink out of that. Don't drink out of that. Oh, God, Mom. I'm going to get sick drinking out of that stupid plastic thing that sits on our sink, and I can see it. She's not going to pay attention. So yeah, I don't care. I'm pissing that damn vase because if she's ever up and I have to pee, I will lose my hours of sleep that are precious, because even if she knows not to talk to me, she inevitably will. If she's up, she will talk to me. There is no way, just like the sun shines every day, rises and sets, my mother, if I get up at any time and she's up, she will talk to me. And then sometimes she'll talk to me and bother me, and then I can't fall back to sleep. And my sleep is so precious that, I can not even be half awake and pee in the vase and empty it in the morning, and that's it, and I don't care. I'm in survival mode continuously. We need to sell this place and get the fuck out of here. Period. Another thing that I had lack of incentive is because it was going to be an added thing. Joe might think we can go and stay with him, but I can tell that we wouldn't be able to. He would not be able to handle it. I went that week with him, and he couldn't even handle me, let alone, he's not going to be, he couldn't handle me, let alone handle me and my mother together. It just wouldn't be happening. There were so many things that factored into the fact that I did not put my house or start talking to realtors right in the beginning of summer like ever practical Joe would have done, and I know, Joe, but you're not inside my head. You don't know that at every moment I'm on the edge. Every moment something bad could happen to me. And only because I could get through for a buck through Xfinity Rewards, I rented for a buck instead of the $6.99 because I'd wanted to see it before. I had toyed with the idea of seeing it in the theater. It was intense. It was violent. It was something else. Civil War. It gave me an inside look into, I didn't know that photographers, they actually go right near. I didn't know they do that. They probably do. I'm sure they wouldn't have it in the film if they don't. They follow the people shooting around. And they, of course, photographers, everybody, for the press, they don't have weapons. And they risk their lives continuously. And in here, main characters in this movie died. Because that is the reality. It was very well written, I thought. I didn't understand the whole dynamics of it. But I understood the whole thing with the press trying to get to a certain spot. And the intensity and the evil and the press people weren't evil. The characters, they were desensitized though. And then you have a newbie who's only 23. She is not yet desensitized. But you're risking your life every waking moment. It's adrenaline rush, and you can die. People do all kinds of things where they can die. And they still do it. Guy entering that eating contest is choking to death, gets saved, and continues on with the contest afterwards.